if you would please find your shape of volume practice and applications. All right, give me just a second here. Okay. All right, so find the volume of each pyramid. So we need to remember that to find the volume of a pyramid, our formula is this. Volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times H, where capital B, it stands for the area of base. Okay. All right, so let's look at a few of these here. So I've got number 1 and number 2. So for the very first one, remember my 3 steps. We're going to write our formula first. Volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times H. Okay, the second step is to plug in. So I'm going to keep the 1/3 and I'm going to see. All right, so it looks like I have a right triangle here. So here's my base and here's my height. Now to find the area of a triangle, we know that it is 1/2 times the base times the height. And then I'm going to multiply it by my height, which is right here of my pyramid. Okay. All right. And then step 3 is to solve. So volume is equal to 1/3. Well, I know that 6 times 8 is 48, and divided by 2 is 24. So I'm going to have 24 times 9. And we can go over here off to the side. So 24 times 9. Okay. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 2 is 18, 19, 20, 21. So I have 216. So volume is 1/3 times 216. Now I need to do 3 divided by 216, because 1/3 times this is the same thing as 216 divided by 3. 3 can't go into 2, but 3 can go into 21 7 times. Bring down the 6. 3 can go into 6 2 times. With nothing left over. So volume is equal to 72 feet cubed. Do not forget the cubed. We're in volume now. So with volume, we are multiplying 3 different units together, or not different, but 3 units together, which creates our cubed. Okay, area, we were multiplying 2 units together, which created our squared. All right, so let's look at number 2. So remember, first step, volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times the H. Second step is to fill in my information. Well, it looks like my base is a rectangle, and to find the area of it is just base times the height, so 12 times 13. And then I need to finish out my thing and multiply it by the height of my pyramid, which is 10. All right, so let's go over here. 12 times 13, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3. Placeholder 2, 1, so I'm going to have 156. Okay, so third step is to solve. So volume is equal to 1/3 times 156 times 10. So 156 times 10, 0, 0, 0, placeholder 651, 1560. Volume is equal to 1/3 times 1560. And now I need to divide this here by 3. So 1560. 3 can go into 15 5 times. 3 can go into 6 2 times. And 3 can go into 0 0 times. So the volume for this pyramid is 520 meters cubed. 520 meters cubed. All right, number 3. So the Triumph Trophy Companies is packaging a glass trophy to ship to a customer. The trophy is a square pyramid with a volume of 243 inches cubed. It was packaged, or it will be packaged in a cube-shaped box with approximately the same dimensions as the trophy. How many cubic inches of empty space will there be in the box? Okay, if you guys remember back from a few days ago, or remember back from the yesterday or whatnot, is that the volume of a prism is 3 times the volume of a pyramid. Okay, so my pyramid is 1/3 the volume of my prism, or my prism is 3 times the volume of a pyramid. So if I know the volume of my pyramid, Okay, volume of my pyramid is 243 inches cubed. Well, I need to take this number and I need to multiply it by 3 to get to the volume of my prism. So I'm going to do 243 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus 1 more is 7. So my prism is 729 inches cubed. Okay, that's not the answer it's looking for. It's wanting to know the approximate, or not approximate, the empty space in the box, which means I need to take my prism and subtract the volume of my prism from the volume of my trophy. 9 minus 3 is 6. Carry 4, 3, 6, 7, 8, and then 6 minus 2 is 4. So I need to subtract the two volumes together to figure out that I'm going to have 486 inches cubed of empty space. Okay, 486 inches cubed of empty space. Okay. All right, number 4, a pyramid designed by I.M. Pei, a well-known Chinese American architect, is sitting in front of the Louvre Art Museum in Paris. The square pyramid has a base with a side length of 115 and a height of 70 feet. Okay, calculate the volume of the prism. All right, so if we wanted to draw this out, I got myself a square pyramid here. Okay, I know that my base is 115, and knowing that with a square, properties of a square, all my sides are equivalent. So if one side is 115, all of the sides are 115. And I know that the height of my pyramid is 70 feet. Okay, 70 feet. All right, so my first step is to write my equation. So volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times H. Okay. Step 2 is to plug in. So 1/3 is equal to 115 times 115 times 70. And step 3 is to solve. Now, I am going to use my calculator, so you guys would like to grab yours as well, because these are some really big numbers and it does not equal out nicely. So 115 times 115, I am told that it is 13,225. Okay, now I need to multiply that by 70. So I'm going to have volume is a 1/3, 925,750. And then I need to divide this by 3. And I'm going to get an approximate volume, because it's not going to be exact, 8583.3 repeating. And we're going to say it's this feet cubed. There you go. Feet cubed. All right. Number 5, suppose Miss Evans wants to create two solids, a triangular prism and a triangular pyramid. She wants to create the solids such that the heights and the volumes are both equal. How do the bases compare? All right, so if I wanted to think about this, is that for my prism, my equation is volume is equal to capital B times H. Okay, and for my pyramid, my volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times H. It wants to know when both my heights and my volumes are going to be equivalent, meaning I'm going to set these two equations equal to one another. And I'm going to explain here in just a second. Okay. Well, look, if I want my heights to be equivalent, I can go ahead and cancel them out, because if they're both a height of 2, and if I were to divide 2 by 2, it's going to equal out to 1, which means the base of my prism is going to be 1/3 the base of my pyramid. Okay, so how my bases are comparing is that area of base of my prism is 1/3 to the area of base of pyramid. Okay, so that's another way of how we get to that point. Okay, how is finding volume of a prism similar, and how are they different? So I'm going to have two different columns here. I'm going to have same, different. Okay, how they are same is that if you think about our equations right here, They both consist of capital B, which is the area of base. They both consist of an H, which is the height. Okay, and they both start off with this, which is you multiply area of base to height. Okay, and then one of the biggest difference that they have is that my pyramid is 1/3 the volume of my prism. Okay, the pyramid is 1/3 the volume of my prism. All right. Let's look over at number 7. Number 7 is asking us to find the volume of each figure. Okay, so it looks like I have 2 triangular bases. So if I want to go ahead and color these in here, I have 2 triangular bases, which means I'm going to have a prism. So my volume for a prism is V is equal to capital B times H. Second step is to solve. So looking at my base to find the area, it looks like it is a triangle. So I'm going to have 1/2 times 10 times 5 times the height, which remember the height of a prism is the distance between the 2 bases, which is 6. Okay. And then step 3 is to solve. So volume is equal to, well, 10 times 5 is 50, and then half of 50 is 25. So 25 times 6, so we can do that, not 26. 25 times 6, we can do that right here. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12. 13, 14, 15. So I have a volume of 150 inches cubed. Okay, 150 inches cubed. All right, number 8, it looks like I have just a 1 base, which means I have a pyramid. So I'm going to write down my equation. So volume is equal to 1/3 capital B times H. Second step is volume is equal to 1/3. Now, to find the area of my base, it's 1/2 times the base times the height. So 1/2 times 3/5 times 4/5. And then I'm going to multiply that by the height of my pyramid, which is 1. Okay. All right. And then step 3 is to solve. Now I'm going to pull this down here. So 1/2 times 3/5. Okay, because it's all 3 of these things are multiplied together, and we know how to multiply fractions. We've been doing this for a while. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 5 is 10. Now I need to multiply this here by 4/5. Whoops, multiply. 3 times 4 is 12. 5 times 10 is 50. So I'm going to leave that there the way it is. So I'm going to have 1/3 times 12/50. Okay. And then I'm going to say that 12/50 times 1 is the same thing as 12/50. Okay. And then now I need to multiply this fraction by 1/3. So that's why I left this here. So I'm going to multiply by 1/3 to get 12/150. Okay. 12/150. And I know that if you leave this here, that Ms. Roberts is going to say you're partially correct because we need to simplify this here. Okay, I know that I can simplify both 12 and 50 by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is going to get me 4. 150 divided by 3, well, I just did the opposite, is 50. I know that 4 and 50 are both even, so I'm going to divide them both by 2. I'm going to get 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. To have an ending volume of 2/25 feet cubed. Okay, 2/25 feet cubed. All right, number 9, it looks like I have 2 bases right here, one here and one here, that are the same size. And with 2 bases, I know that I have a prism. So my volume is capital B times H. Step 2 is to plug in. So it looks like my dimensions are 3.7 times 1.2. And then my height of my 2 prisms is 4, which is the distance between the 2 bases. All right, and then step 3 is to solve. So I'm actually going to go over here. 3.7 times 2.1. Oops, not 2.1. It is going to be 1.2. 1, and then I'm going to change that to a 2. Okay, yep, I messed up. Okay, 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. Done with the 2, placeholder. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. add 4. 7 plus 7 is 14. 3 plus 1 is 4. I have 2 places behind the decimal, so I'm going to move that here. So volume is equal to 4.44 times 4. Okay, and then we're going to go over here. 4.44 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 more is 17. And I have 2 behind the decimal, so volume is equal to 17.76 yards cubed. 17.76 yards cubed. All right, and the last one, Daniel had a doctor's appointment during math class, so his friend Sammy is showing him what they did in class that day. Sammy explained that they practiced finding the volumes of different 3D figures. Sammy's notes, however, only had his work and did not include the pictures of figures. To help Daniel understand the work, he sketched a picture of what each figure looked like. Using Sammy's work to sketch a picture of what each figure may have looked like, be sure to label the dimensions in each sketch, then tell what clues you used to find the sketch. Okay, so I'll look at this one. So for number 10 here, it says V equals 3 times 5 times 8. Well, it looks like I have a feet cubed, so I know that I'm finding the volume, and it looks like I am doing length times width times height. So I'm going to assume that my base is rectangular, okay, and it's a prism because I am not multiplying by 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to assume that my prism looks something like this. It's okay if you're not a good drawer, neither am I. So I'm going to assume that my prism looks something like this, and then I'm going to assume that my base is 3 and my height is 5 for my area of my base, and that the height of my prism is 8. Okay. All right, number 11, it looks like I also have volume as well, and it looks like I'm doing 1/2 times 6 times 4. So I'm also dealing with a prism because I am not multiplying by 1/3. My base is a triangle. Based on the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times the height. And so I'm multiplying by 1/2 here, okay, which tells me that I'm going to have a triangular base. So I'm going to draw one triangular base, and I'm going to try and get myself, oops, there we go, a triangular here. So it looks like it is going to be 1/2 base times the height. And if I go in this direction, the base is 6, the height is 4. And then the height of my prism is going to be 10. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.